All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever been part of an ISO 27001 certification, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The documentation. It's this massive mountain you have to climb. Today, we're going to talk about how to conquer that mountain using one of the most powerful tools we have right now, artificial intelligence.
Does this feel familiar? So many teams have been here. You kick off your ISO project with all this energy and momentum, and then you hit the documentation phase. And suddenly, you're just staring at a blank page. The sheer amount of work is paralyzing. And just like that, all that forward progress, it just stops.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why that documentation roadblock is such a big deal. Then we'll introduce the AI copilot that helps you blow right past it, and we'll break down its 3 superpowers. After that, and this is so important, we'll cover the essential human review, and finally, we'll walk you through how to get from that first draft all the way to being truly audit-ready.
Okay, so let's really look at this problem. It's not just about writing a policy or two. It's about creating an entire library of documents that all have to connect and make sense together. For most people, just figuring out where to even start is the hardest part. That blank page problem, it's a total project killer.
And just look at the sheer scale of what we're talking about here. You've got policies for access control, acceptable use, how you classify your data, and then you have detailed procedures for incident response, change management. The list just goes on. And every single one of these has to be detailed and actually fit your organization. It's really no wonder teams get completely bogged down.
So yeah, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you're staring at a list like that, how on earth do you take that first step without getting totally lost? How do you build momentum instead of just stopping? And here's the game-changing answer. The modern way to do this means you never have to face that blank page again. The whole trick is using the right tool to generate that first draft for you. And that's where the AI copilot comes in. The best way to think about it is as your own personal policy and procedure generator. It's a tool that can spit out structured, professional-looking drafts in seconds, all tailored to your company's situation. It gives you this huge head start. So here's a perfect real-world example of how this works. You give the AI a really specific prompt. You see, you're not just asking for a generic policy. You're giving it critical context, that it's for a SaaS company, that you have remote employees, and what you get back is a really solid draft that already gets you on the right track for ISO 27700. So what can this AI copilot actually do for you? Well, it really comes down to 3 main things. Or, as I like to call them, it's 3 superpowers that just turbocharge your documentation process. Okay, first up, it can draft all those key policies we were just looking at. Superpower number 2, it can outline all those detailed step-by-step procedures you need for things like handling incidents. And third, it can give you templates that are specific to your industry. So whether you're in tech, healthcare, or finance, you are not starting from zero. Now this brings us to what is without a doubt the most important part of this entire conversation. Listen up. AI is an amazing assistant, but it is not an expert. It's not a replacement for real human knowledge. These drafts are a fantastic starting point, but they are not the finished product. Let's break this down. The AI gives you the structure, the templates, and incredible speed. But the expert? That's you, your security team. That's who provides the things AI can't. You bring the business context, you define your company's actual risk appetite, and you give that final crucial sign-off. So to make this super practical, here's a checklist for that human review. You got to ask yourself, does this policy actually reflect how much risk our company is willing to take? Does it line up with all our legal requirements? And maybe most importantly, does this match how we actually work day to day? An AI can't know these things, but you have to. All right, so let's say you've used AI to get your drafts, and your experts have polished them into something great. The final piece of the puzzle is managing all these documents so you're always ready for an audit. This is all about organization. The best practice, hands down, is using a centralized repository. And that's just a fancy way of saying a single, organized place for everything. It could be SharePoint, Google Drive, or a special tool for this. The key is that there's only one source of truth. And the payoff for doing this, it's huge. It makes sure everything is consistent. It makes rolling out updates a breeze. And it gives you that clear audit trail that auditors absolutely love to see. Bottom line, it gives you a ton of confidence when the auditors show up. And really, that's what this all leads to. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to check off a box. It's to create a living, breathing set of documents that are comprehensive, that are compliant, and that are ready to stand up to any audit you throw at it. So I'll leave you with this thought.
By smartly using AI as your copilot and blending it with your own team's expertise, is it possible to turn what was once your biggest, most frustrating roadblock into your greatest strategic advantage? I think it is.